News Talk 1250 KBRF. Listen anytime, any place with the new Fergus Now app on your phone. And it is the first Wednesday of the month, and we get to welcome in Lisa Workman for Chamber on the Air. Thank you for joining us, Lisa.
Hi, Dave. So glad to be in the studio, and feels a little more normal now. I do like this. We appreciate the adjustment that Leighton Broadcasting has made for us to be able to feature our Chamber members for Chamber on the Air. And, of course, it is September. The weather certainly started to feel a little fall-ish, and we're here today to talk about going back to school, and we have a lot of different things when it comes to back to school chamber related. And our first kind of virtual event, we're going to do a back to school chamber cafe. And this will be co-hosted with M State Fergus Falls campus. They are already back to school. And our first guest today is Dr. Carrie Brimhall, the president of M State. So Carrie, welcome back to school.
Good morning. It is great to be back in school. I told our students it's probably good that we have a 6-foot requirement to stay away from them, because I felt like hugging each and every one that came through the doors. We have missed them really terribly, and so it's great to be back.
It is definitely a challenge, I think those of us who aren't always huggy people are starting to feel like that lacking of, we still want to hug everybody. But yeah, you're right. Making those adjustments, and especially, with the school year finishing or wrapping up the way it did last year, there were a lot of things that were missing, but now you've got folks back to school. So tell us a little bit how the school year is looking. Back to school has already started for the Spartans, so tell us a little bit about what that looks like.
Yeah, I would love to. We, as you mentioned in the spring, our students left for spring break and they didn't come back because everything happened while they were on spring break. So it did feel really abrupt for, I know, our K-12 partners, and certainly for our faculty as well. We were able to transition 97% of our courses online in 5 days, including things like automotive technician and healthcare programs and things that I would say prior to that it was difficult to envision how we could even make that work. But our faculty and staff did a tremendous job in just rising to the challenge, and we're so proud of them. But as the months have gone on and fall semester became a little bit, the numbers continued to change in our communities, and we realized that fall semester wasn't going to be looking the same as it has in the past. Our faculty have been prepping, and our staff have been prepping and preparing for really creative things all summer and certainly through the spring. So we were ready to go for fall semester. About 65% of our courses are offered virtually this fall, and about 35% on campus. And on campus could mean a couple days a week. It could mean once every other week, with everything else being supplemented virtually. So we have about, on the 4 campuses total, we have about 1,500 students that are on campus at least one day a week, wearing masks and doing a daily check-in and screening to ensure that they are symptom-free. But they're great about it, and we seem to be off and running already within a first week. About 90, up in the high 90% of our students are doing that daily screening, showing us their green screen and making sure that we know that they are healthy when they're coming in contact with other students and with our employees.
Which is fantastic, because that has been kind of some of the headlines is some of the college campuses, and so good to hear that M State and the students and the staff are staying healthy. That's such an important piece of that learning component.
Yeah, and in the Fergus campus specifically, we focused on safety when we made the decision not to have fall athletics, but that changed, of course, the number of students coming into the community. We do have over 50 students living in housing who relocated to the Fergus Falls community, and again they've been great. They're using up. We did get enhanced internet in our housing units, and they are using every terabyte. I think Ottertail Telecom in Park Region, they're looking at usage too and going, wow, they can really use a lot when they're in their unit, and really trying to stay gaming and watching Netflix and stay within their pod of roommates and stay safe. And we're just delighted with our students, how excited they are to be back, how much education means to them, and how they understand that following the rules means that they can continue to pursue their dreams, and how much they're stepping up to that. We're really proud of them.
Definitely. So, Carrie, tell us a little bit about how is the staff doing as far as those changes go? Because that, we think of the back to school and the students, but it's just as important for staff and the instructors to make those adjustments too. Because that's, I'm sure, been a new learning curve for them.
Absolutely, it has been, and we call them the heart of our institution, the heart of M-State, because without our employees, none of this works. And we've had a tagline for a couple of years about being all in, and it's because our three values of inclusion, integrity, and innovation all start with IN, and so we are all into the work that we do. And I'm just so proud to be the president of the college, because it isn't, every day we bring new rules, new frameworks, new guidance, and all the words that we're tired of in 2020. And, and our staff respond with, not only are we going to do that exactly as it states, but we're going to be even better than that for our students. And so they just rise, they're just not even, the standard isn't good enough for any of our employees. They do what's best for our students, and they go above and beyond every day. And so, we don't spend a lot of time grumbling. We don't spend a lot of time thinking we can't do things. We kind of dig our heels in and prove that we can do it better than anybody else. An example of that is tomorrow on our 4 campuses, we're giving away 500 laptops to students who don't have reliable access to technology and who need it in order to be successful in school.
Wow.
So we're rolling out the blue carpet tomorrow. It's blue at M-State, M-State Blue, rolling out the blue carpet, and students had to complete an application to talk about their need. But, we make assumptions because they're adults that they have access to technology, because certainly technology is a big part of what we do. But we also know we have students with housing needs, with with food needs, and certainly with technology needs. And so, they may have access to technology, but they might be sharing it with 2 or 3 family members who are either working from home or learning from home too, and it's just not conducive to them being as successful as possible. And so tomorrow we're across the college giving out 500 laptops free to our students and some data packages to make sure that they have really what I would consider a basic need at this point. A computer and access to reliable internet is a basic need. It's not something that's a luxury anymore.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, the technology piece. It's like the backpacks and the pencil boxes and, calculators that we all needed as we were going through school. Things have definitely changed.
Right.
So, Carrie, tell us a little bit about, what kind of different ways that our students are getting engaged to be part of that student life and college life.
Yeah, that's an interesting question, because, of course, we are moving everything virtual that we possibly can, and it's interesting because it is working better than we thought it would be all of spring, and certainly for the first few weeks of school, we've had higher attendance at our virtual events than we do at on-campus events. And what we're realizing is that based on the needs of our students, some are traditional age, some have families, some work, many of them work, that virtual really allows for them to access that engagement piece at their convenience, not necessarily at ours. And so we've had really great attendance in virtual events. We had a Q&A. We've had virtual town halls for students to ask questions. And I did a welcome event where we hosted some students and faculty on a panel, and we had hundreds of questions submitted by our students. We've had magicians online. We've had activities online. Student clubs are meeting online, and students are finding a way to make this work. And again, it's been fun to try. Not everything has worked. Some things have not worked, and students, like I said, we do need as human beings that connection to people. And so we're just getting really creative in how we do that. And it is opening up doors for students that might not have been able to access those fun things in the past.
We never know until we try, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, and speaking of virtual events, you guys are co-hosting our back to school virtual chamber cafe on Thursday, September 10th, where folks can register with the chamber, and then we'll send you the Zoom link for that. And Carrie, we'll hear from you again at our Chamber Cafe, the virtual event, next Thursday then, too.
All right, I look forward to it. Yeah, it's always a fun time to get to meet people and see them and connect with them and see them smile. And I think that's a big part of why we get excited about having cameras on and being able to connect with people through a screen.
Most definitely. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the show today, and go Big Blue. That's
right. Thanks, Lisa. We always appreciate your support.
You bet. Well, that was Dr. Carrie Brimhall, the president of M-State Fergus Falls. She's been our first guest today on Chamber on the Air. And when we come back, we will be visiting with Brandon Johnson with Ottertail Power. We're sticking with the back-to-school theme because we've got all kinds of information to share. And we're going to talk about a webinar, a workshop on how your business can save money on your fixed operating expenses. They don't have to be so fixed. So stay tuned. We'll be back after a short break.
Really, the first program is about inspiring students to be tomorrow's technology and science leaders. Hey, you can come to get me. Hey, won't you try to fool me? And it's really our chance at Ottertail Power Company, those of us who are involved, to get these kids some experience with regards to technology. But really, we start from the very beginning with finding the problem, defining the problem, brainstorming about solutions, strategies for playing the game, and then developing prototypes, how they're going to solve the engineering problem that's in front of them.
This year's challenge was called Ultimate Ascent. There were 2 different objects of the game. One was to climb a 10-foot tall pyramid. It was 3 different rungs that you had to climb up, and that's what our robot did. That's all that we did. We climbed up that pyramid.
I felt a major sense of accomplishment because, you know, I didn't really know if we could do it, if it would actually get it all the way up there or not.
You know, just like in the real world, you never have enough time, you never have enough information, you never have enough money, and so you've got to come up with a solution in a very tight timeline. It's a fun and interesting learning experience. I don't think you see it anymore.
32! So I've really seen in them as mentors, they really come alongside and help you learn and help you get to know how to do it. And then once you know how to do it, they step back a little bit and let you do it.
They are some of the brightest kids in the school, and they have this hunger to learn and how to apply what they've learned. Hopefully sit in class and say, you know what, this stuff has value, so let's go try to apply it. To have the confidence actually that you could tear something apart and put it back together and it'll work. And to take pride in your work. Back, fire, now. That's kind of what kind of hooked me, and just getting to know these kids is a lot of fun.
It's very satisfying when you go and you can actually do something and get it done and know you did a good job and that you helped the team.
If you're on this team, chances are you have interests that are not going to be the most common in your school. And for me, I have no interest in sports or that sort of stuff, so this really allowed me to meet like-minded people.
I really felt like I was needed in this program. I felt like I was wanted. So that's why I like coming here.
We're the Otterbots. We're based in Fergus Falls.
If you're a girl and you're watching this, you should join because it's really cool.
As long as I'm in this city, I'm part of the Otterbots.
News Talk 1250 KBRF. Listen anytime, any place. We're back on with Chamber on the Air with Lisa Workman.
Hey, thanks, Dave. So joining me now is Brandon Johnson, and Brandon is with Ottertail Power Company. And you know, with the whole back-to-school theme we have, it's a great time to really, add some professional development, learn some skills, as well as learn ways that your business can save money on energy. And that is exactly what Brandon has been hired to do with Ottertail Power, is work with businesses to find ways to help them save some money. So Brandon, tell us a little bit about your role with Ottertail. I kind of put it in real basic terms.
Well, thanks, Lisa. Yep. So with Ottertail Power, we're committed to helping our customers use energy in the most efficient way possible and reduce where possible. So our team has kind of been tasked with kind of helping customers lead that front.
Exactly. And I've worked with the team at Otter Tail Power back a couple years ago when we did our renovation in 2018. Worked with Chris Waltz, who preceded you in this role, and he helped us save energy. And in preparation for the webinar that we have coming up on September 22nd, I did a little research, and when we switched to a more efficient system, to LED lighting, and to an air source heat pump, at the chamber office alone, we saved 50% in our winter heating bills. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's a great resource, and I'm sure Chris was instrumental in helping you make those decisions as well. So that's exactly what your role is. And we're going to do a little webinar on Tuesday, September 22nd from 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. It's a free webinar that you can register right on the chamber website at fergusfalls.com. And we're putting this together between the chamber, Otter Tail Power, CERTS, REAP, PACE, all kinds of great acronyms that we're going to have on our website too. But tell us a little bit about CERTS, Brandon. So CERTS is a statewide partnership. They work very closely with a lot of the state programs as well as other programs through the Minnesota Extension and the Department of Commerce. Kind of a local leader in assisting with Minnesota programs, and they partner a lot with utilities.
And I think that's a great thing is that, you know, when businesses are looking at ways to be more efficient, some of the times they think about it and they go, well, maybe we can't afford to do that. And this is where you come in with your expertise in some of the different programs. Can you touch on those a little bit?
With the small businesses, they all have an energy bill, but they don't have to be a fixed cost. They can be influenced. So we want to meet with customers and businesses and kind of talk about their energy use and then ways they might impact those in a positive manner.
Definitely. So, and that's what's one of the great things too, is that Otter Tail Power has made that commitment, especially through your role, to meet with businesses one-on-one to help them really reduce those energy costs and that energy consumption so that it's more efficient.
Exactly.
So if folks want to get together with you, how do they reach you or how do they get in contact with you if they're thinking, you know, maybe in preparation for this year's heating season, or maybe, you know, we've got to replace some lighting or some different things like that? How do they get in touch with you to do like an analysis?
Yeah, they can just call our main number, ask for any of the energy advisors, and they'll get to, we kind of have it sectioned out by service area. So if you say you're in the Fergus Falls area, you're going to land with me, and we'll assist you from there.
All right. And does it cost anything for people to have a consultation with you?
It does not.
It does not. See, isn't that nice? So we've got a free webinar on Tuesday, September 22nd, where you'll learn about some of these different programs that are available for businesses when it comes to energy efficiency. Maybe it's renewable energy, different financing options and things like that. So you'll learn more about that on Tuesday, September 22nd. Brandon's going to be a part of that webinar along with some other experts from around the state talking about those things too. So again, you can get in touch with Brandon at Otter Tail Power. He can meet with you individually and help work on some of the saving some money on those fixed costs. Thanks, Brandon, for joining us on the show today. And just want to touch on a few things that are coming up with the Chamber, too. Normally, we start the show with that. So thanks, everyone, for staying tuned in. You know, a lot of times people think, well, there's nothing going on in Fergus Falls. There's tons of things going on in Fergus Falls. I'm not kidding you at all. But so here's a few things that are going on with the Chamber. And what's handy is that we have an events calendar on our website at fergusfalls.com. Right on the homepage, it'll say upcoming events. And you can click on a day and find out what's going on. So some of the things that we have coming up with the Chamber on Wednesday, September 9th, we're headed out on our ambassador visits. We will have masks in hand. We're going to make sure that everyone is safe, socially distant, but we're going to help celebrate some of these anniversaries and milestones and new businesses in our community. So on Wednesday, September 9th, we're headed to Olson Funeral Home to celebrate their 110th anniversary. We're also going to Pure Aesthetics, a new business in town. We're going to do a little ribbon cutting and present them with their first dollar of business, first dollar of profit. Then after that, we're headed to Quality Toyota to celebrate their 40th anniversary. And we're going to wrap up our ambassador visits at Fergus Home and Hardware, and we're going to learn more about their expansion with the country store. As we started the show, we talked about Chamber Cafe. We're going to do a virtual back-to-school Chamber Cafe on Thursday, September 10th, starting at 7:30 in the morning. There's no charge to attend. You do need to pre-register on our website at fergusfalls.com, and then you'll get the Zoom link so you can join us for tune in for Chamber Cafe, the back to school edition. You have to bring your own coffee. You know, normally people are pretty excited about Chamber Cafe because we always have a fantastic breakfast, but bring your own coffee, bring your own breakfast, all those kind of things. And then later that day on Thursday, September 10th, again, focusing on that back to school. It's not just for the kiddos that are going back to school. It's a great time for you to invest in your business as well as your own professional development. And on Thursday, September 10th at 3 o'clock, Dr. Alla is going to share some of the great information that she has picked up throughout the years as part of our Business Mastermind series. She's going to talk about sailing your business through 2020, and answer some questions like, how much should you be reinvesting in your business? What kind of numbers do you need to know when it comes to your business? Talking about your employees and how to help you weather the storm, really helping you get some strategies to move forward in a positive way throughout 2020. And Dr. Alla Smith will be hosting these classes on Thursday, September 10th at 3 o'clock, and on Thursday, September 17th, or Tuesday, September 17th at, nope, that's Thursday, September 17th at 11:45. So we have 2 opportunities for you to take this free webinar. Again, just register at the Chamber. It's all free. And then also we've got coming up, I'm super excited about this, Monday, September 14th is our golf social distancing. We are so excited about that. We're inviting Chamber members to come out to Pebble Lake Golf Club and golf 9 holes. And we're going to give anyone in the community the opportunity to crush COVID. So we've partnered with Vector Windows, okay, remember that, for a chance to crush COVID on the driving range. So we're going to sell some special balls for you to drive out on the driving range to break the glass, and it's going to have COVID on it, so you can get some frustrations out and crush COVID out on the driving range. Plus, we're going to do a little golf ball drop, so a fun little event. We're going to gather together, but separately, if that's possible. So that, again, is on Monday, September 14th from 2 to 6. Just call the Pebble Lake Golf Club at 736-7404 to register your tee time for that event. And then on Tuesday, September 15th, if you are a small business or nonprofit in the city of Fergus Falls, Tuesday, September 15th is your deadline to apply for the City of Fergus Falls CARES Act grants. So we have been working with businesses and will continue to work with businesses and nonprofits on applying for those funds. There are up to $10,000 that businesses can apply for a grant, and up to $15,000 for nonprofits. So again, mark that on your calendar. Tuesday, September 15th is the deadline to apply for that funding. And at the Chamber, we're happy to help work through those applications with you too. Tuesday, September 22nd is the Clean Energy webinar. And then in October, we're going to do a Meet the Candidates. So all kinds of different activities going on. Check out the Chamber's website at fergusfalls.com. We're happy to answer any questions that you have. Whew, that's a lot of information. Dave, this has been Chamber on the Air. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, we're excited to have you in. A lot of things happening with the Chamber.
Yeah, hard to keep up with it all.
Lisa Workman with Chamber on the Air on Newstalk 1250 KBRF. Listen anytime, any place with the new Fergus Now app on your phone. I'll take you through the news here in just a few moments. Also still to come, the Dennis Prager Show and a look at your Newstalk 1250 KBRF Weather Center forecast. It's 11 o'clock.
Of course, the Mississippi River below the power dam. It's a good put in. It's a nice stretch of river to go on. Easy access from Bemidji, and a lot of different diversity. Going down to Island Point. It's some flat water, there's some rocks, and then there's some Class 1 rapids, that are nice to go through. What's so nice about the area is that it's much more wild than than the part of the Mississippi from the city to Power Dam. You have a lot more wildlife in that area. You can see bald eagles flying around. You can see herons, scaring up herons and chasing them down the river that way, see them a number of times. A lot of other waterfowl and things like that. And when you get down to Island Point, you can climb up to the top where the campsite is. There are 2 shelters up there and get a good view of the river, back down through the trees.